Hello, everyone, and welcome to my home and away news. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers, paths to redeeming Drew, from Amnesia to Imposter twists? General Hospital spoilers reveal the tide of disdain for Drew Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, is turning into calls for redemption, with one intriguing theory suggesting a soapy Amnesia plot to wipe his slate clean. As Drew's villainous antics, like blackmailing Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard, and sicking investigators on Stella Henry, Vernee Watson, pile up enemies, viewers are debating how to make him likable again. The Amnesia angle proposes an attack, perhaps in Pentonville, erasing his dark phase and restoring his good guy roots, complete with old affections for Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, and no romantic ties to Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen. But that's just one path. Alternatives abound, from killing him off for a fresh resurrection to revealing he's an imposter. With fans split, which route will GH take to salvage Drew? The Amnesia reset, a clean slate for Drew? One popular theory spins Drew's redemption through classic soap Amnesia. After a brutal assault lands him in Pentonville, he wakes up as his former self, forgetting his ruthless streak. This wipe would revive his bonds, like viewing Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, as his best friend and Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, as a trusted business partner, while ditching his obsession with Willow. It allows for heartfelt reunions and growth, but challenges arise as others remember his misdeeds. This avenue keeps Drew in play, letting him reflect and change organically, potentially winning back fans weary of his power-hungry ways. GH spoilers tease kill-off and resurrection. A new Drew emerges? Another fan-favorite spin. Kill Drew off dramatically, only to resurrect him later with a revamped persona, much like Roger Howarth's multiple character shifts. This death could stem from his enemy's revenge, giving Port Charles a breather from his schemes. Upon return, Drew might embody a fresh take, perhaps humbled by near death, or even as a new character blending his traits with novel edges. This bold move resets fan perceptions, allowing exploration of his Navy SEAL past or family ties without the baggage, though it risks alienating those attached to his current arc. Imposter twist or Kim's return? Heart-softening revelations? Delve deeper with an imposter reveal. Maybe the real Drew was mind-mapped again in Pentonville, brainwashed into villainy, explaining his heel turn. Unmasking this could redeem him via a heroic unmasking, restoring his integrity. Alternatively, Kim Nero's, Tamara Braun, come back with her son, actually Julian Jerome's, William DeVry, child but passed off as Drew's, might soften his heart, grounding his power struggles in family purpose. All of these paths add layers, but the fans continue to debate whether any of them are enough to erase his sins. Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to find out. Drew Cain has been one of the most complicated men in Port Charles, and lately, his character has fallen into a gray area that has fans debating whether the writers even know what to do with him. Once introduced as Jason Morgan's long-lost twin, Drew had layers of emotional conflict, a noble streak, and a tragic love story. But over the years, the twists and turns have left his story feeling muddled. His latest behavior, particularly his temper and questionable choices, has fans asking whether Drew can truly be redeemed. The good news? Soap operas thrive on redemption arcs. Even the darkest characters often find their way back to the light with clever writing. If GH wants to restore Drew's heroic image, there are plenty of directions to take his story. Let's explore some possible paths, from shocking Amnesia to jaw-dropping imposter twists. 1. The Amnesia reset. Back to basics. Amnesia is a tried-and-true soap trope, but with Drew, it could actually make sense. He's already lived through one devastating memory-mapping experiment courtesy of Helena Cassadine. What if the aftereffects of that procedure are still in play? Imagine Drew suddenly losing his current memories but regaining flashes of who he used to be. This could send him on a journey of rediscovering his core values, the man who wanted to do right by Sam, Scout, and even Franco. If GH wants to soften his current sharp edges, stripping him of the bitterness he's developed would be a neat way to do it. It could also open the door to revisiting old romances. A Drew with scrambled memories might drift back toward Elizabeth or Sam, setting up conflicts with Finn, Dante, or even Jason. The fallout could create fresh drama while grounding Drew in a more sympathetic role. "It wasn't me" card, an imposter in play? Soap fans know that when a character feels off, there's always room for a sci-fi style twist. What if the Drew we're watching isn't Drew at all? The Cassadines, particularly Victor before his death, dabbled in all kinds of experiments. It wouldn't be impossible to reveal that Victor swapped Drew with an imposter or created a programmed duplicate. Maybe the real Drew has been locked away, and the man in Port Charles right now is a pawn. This would explain Drew's erratic behavior and fits of rage. Fans frustrated with his current characterization would instantly feel vindicated. The reveal could be explosive, Jason or Sam uncovering the truth, a dramatic rescue, and the real Drew stepping back into his life with gratitude and a renewed sense of purpose. 3. The Secret Agent Redemption. Drew's Navy SEAL past is often mentioned but rarely explored. GH could lean heavily into that background to reshape him into a reluctant hero again. What if Drew is secretly working undercover, even from Carly, to dismantle one of the new crime syndicates trying to move in on Port Charles? His anger and odd behavior could be a cover. This would not only redeem him but give him a meaty storyline, something that ties him into Anna, Dante, and the WSB. Fans love when Drew's military past drives his story because it connects to his true essence, a man of discipline, loyalty, and courage. A redemption through heroics might be just what's needed to put him back in the spotlight as someone Port Charles can count on. 4. A mental health twist. Sometimes redemption comes from vulnerability. Instead of making Drew larger than life, GH could humanize him by showing that his rage stems from untreated trauma. His years as a prisoner, his memory struggles, and the constant identity crisis have taken a toll. If Drew finally breaks down and admits he needs help, fans could rally behind him. Picture scenes of him opening up to Kevin Collins about PTSD, or Scout helping him realize how much he's changed. Therapy arcs are rare on soaps, but when done right, they create some of the most compelling character growth. This would also create opportunities for him to apologize to people he's hurt, particularly Carly, Sam, and Michael. Redemption through accountability is powerful, and GH could craft a story that resonates with viewers on a deeply human level. 5. The surprising villain arc. Sometimes, the best redemption is delayed. GH could take Drew even darker before bringing him back. Imagine if he temporarily becomes a villain, maybe aligning with someone like Valentine, or even Ava, to seize power or exact revenge. Fans might hate Drew for a while, but if written cleverly, his motivations could be sympathetic. Perhaps he thinks he's protecting Scout or Carly. Perhaps he believes he has to embrace his darker instincts to survive. Eventually, though, his conscience would catch up, setting up a dramatic redemption arc that feels earned. This route allows GH to test Drew in ways we've never seen, while also making his ultimate turnaround more powerful. 6. The family redemption. Drew's deepest ties are to his daughter, Scout. Lately, his storyline hasn't leaned heavily into that father-daughter bond. A true redemption could come through Scout needing him in a profound way. Maybe she faces a health crisis, bullying at school, or even danger from someone connected to Drew's past. In fighting for her, Drew could rediscover who he is, not just as a man but as a father. Fans love a redemption arc grounded in family, and this would bring Drew back to his most relatable roots. It could also force Drew to mend fences with Sam, sparking co-parenting drama that might even soften their strained relationship. Which path works best? General Hospital thrives on reinvention. Drew Kane may feel lost right now, but that also means he's ripe for a reinvention storyline. Whether it's Amnesia, an imposter twist, or a soul-searching journey through family and therapy, Drew has all the makings of a comeback character. The key will be in execution. If the writers lean into the aspects that made Drew a fan favorite, his integrity, his love for family, and his quiet heroism, they can win viewers back. But if they continue down the path of angry outbursts and plot-driven choices, the character risks fading into irrelevance. One thing's for certain, Port Charles is a town where nobody is ever beyond redemption. Drew Kane deserves his chance to shine again, and fans will be watching closely to see which path the writers choose.